Chapter
NK
521, The Poop Scooping Girl. Nothing, weed first, then fertilize at night. Lu Wai Thursday shook her head, squatted down to weed again. So mysterious. Lu Wai Meng muttered, then buried her head in work. Thud thud thud. In the forest, So Fong and the young girl were searching for herbs. So Fong, there is plantain there. Van Han pointed gently. Yes, we can dig it up. So Fong nodded. Though plantain was an herb, it was not for the medicine they needed. All right. Van Han squatted excitedly, using her dagger to dig up plantain. So Fong searched around, soon finding another herb under a big tree. So fast to find one, is it luck from the halo? He murmured. So Fong, talking to yourself again? Van Han came holding some herbs. What a random thing to say. Van Han blushed and scolded. Ha ha ha. So Fong laughed heartily, then smiled. Come on, let us go somewhere else. Okay. Van Han softly replied, letting him pull her along. After more than 20 minutes, So Fong found another herb. So Fong, what are these herbs for? Van Han asked curiously. Guess. So Fong smiled. Again, so mysterious. Van Han pouted and stomped. So Fong only smiled. Some things could not be said. Meanwhile, the Lu sisters were busy in the garden. Finally finished weeding. Lu Wai Meng sighed, sat by the stream, dipping her pale legs into the water. Rest a while, later we fertilize. Lu Wai Thursday said, sitting beside her. The day was not hot, yet sweat beaded on their foreheads. Fertilize, but where is the fertilizer? Lu Wai Meng asked. I fear you would not want to help if I said. Lu Wai Thursday glanced, then looked across the stream. Why say that? Lu Wai Meng followed her gaze, saw a bamboo tube sealed with cement, and realized. Sister, fertilizer, is it our excrement? Lu Wai Meng widened her eyes. Not stupid. Lu Wai Thursday frowned. Oh heavens, really? Lu Wai Meng gaped. Come, face reality. Lu Wai Thursday put on shoes and walked over. Really must do this? Lu Wai Meng protested, thinking that wild greens and taro are fed with our own waste, just. Viewers of the live broadcast laughed wildly. Hilarious, I can imagine it. Of course, after fermentation treatment, that pit is the process. This is called self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency my ass. Lu Wai Meng, shut up. Lu Wai Thursday snapped, her mind also flashing images. I speak truth. Lu Wai Meng said innocently. No nonsense, help now. Lu Wai Thursday urged. Really, cannot replace with other fertilizer? Lu Wai Meng asked. Of course. Lu Wai Thursday affirmed, plants need nutrients, processed waste is best, and she was a biologist. Fine. Lu Wai Meng held her nose, lifted the lid. A foul odor spread, making them frown. Lu Wai Thursday's brow twitched. What next? Lu Wai Meng grimaced, peering into the dark pit. Scoop waste. Lu Wai Thursday inhaled, nearly gagging. How scoop, will you go down? Lu Wai Meng asked instinctively. If anyone, it is you, your size fits. Lu Wai Thursday glanced. I cannot, my butt is bigger, I will get stuck. Lu Wai Meng answered proudly. That is your last capital. Lu Wai Thursday smirked. You know nothing, big but easy birth. Lu Wai Meng said boldly. Lu Wai Thursday was speechless. She turned, fetched a long stick, actually a giant wooden spoon. Never thought I'd become a poop scooping girl. Lu Wai Meng wrinkled her nose, accepted the spoon, hesitated, then thrust it into the pit. Go on. Lu Wai Thursday raised a fist. Ah. Lu Wai Meng cried, Sister, not helping me scoop? Lu Wai Thursday staggered, said without turning, I go prepare ash. Sister, let us switch. Lu Meng shouted. Lu Thursday hurried upstairs. Switching was impossible. Crafty sister. Lu Meng stomped, pulled up the spoon, saw what stuck, sighed helplessly. She turned, dumped it into a water jar. Huff huff huff. Lu Meng exhaled, then continued scooping. Chapter 522, Crafting Floral Fragrance. She looked and saw her younger sister frowning, carefully scooping manure, afraid it would spill. Sister, this is too torturous. Lu Yiming pitifully looked at her sister. Just endure a little longer. Lu Yizhu held back laughter and said. She carried the sack to the vat of water, glanced at the thick liquid, held her breath, and poured the ash in to increase fertility. Lu Yizhu dropped the empty sack, found a wooden pole, took a breath, and stirred the vat. Lu Yizhu glared at her sister. After more than 20 minutes, the pit was emptied and the vat was full. Let's rest a while. Lu Yizhu let go of the stick and whispered, already somewhat used to the foul smell. After more than 20 minutes, the sisters finished resting. Sister, how do we move this slurry? Lu Yiming looked at the full vat with resistance. Use clay jars to store it. Lu Yizhu thought and said softly, recalling they had fire jars while making the tub. Mark the jars well, never use them for food. Lu Yiming said seriously. Reasonable. Lu Yizhu nodded in agreement. She filled clay jars with homemade fertilizer, carried them to the garden, and used bamboo scoops to pour it at the roots of herbs and wild vegetables. Farmers truly struggle to grow crops. Lu Yiming sighed while working NK books. After half an hour, the garden was fully fertilized, soil covered with slurry. I will never step into the garden again. Lu Yiming stood in the stream, scrubbing her hands. Me too. Lu Yizhu smiled bitterly. Who knows how long this stench will last? Lu Yiming rubbed her nose, the air full of foul odor. Creak. The gate opened, Su Feng and the girl returned. Ah. Why does it stink? Did the toilet explode? Yun Han held her nose and said. You are back. Lu Yiming greeted while covering her nose. So it is fertilizing, I thought the toilet really exploded. Su Feng looked at the garden and understood. He spoke gently, you worked hard. Not hard, just the smell is unbearable. Lu Yiming wrinkled her nose. We must endure, after one night of ventilation it will fade. Su Feng smiled wryly, the smell was sharper to his sensitive nose. I cannot, I need a bath. Lu Yiming sniffed her clothes, feeling covered in stink. I will join. Lu Yizhu said with pursed lips. Lu Yiming walked to the stream, then ran to the shed where the big tub was kept, surrounded by branches. He looked at the camera, carried the bamboo basket into the toilet, and crouched to handle the herbs he had brought back. This time, going with the girl, he had found enough herbs. The smell is truly strong. Su Feng frowned, followed the formula in his mind, and ground the herbs in the mortar. A sudden idea flashed, he murmured, seems like there is a floral fragrance recipe, I will try later. The heavy odor reminded him of last month's 7-day gift package, one had a floral fragrance recipe. Su Feng, are you in the toilet? Yun Han knocked and asked. What is it? Su Feng replied in confusion. I need the toilet. Yun Han blushed and complained. Almost done. Yun Han quickly entered and shut the door. No problem, take your time. Su Feng said awkwardly, since toilets cannot wait. He put down the basket, searched the wooden shelf, and prepared to craft floral fragrance. He first took beeswax, placed it in a ceramic bowl, added half a bowl of water to the iron pot, set it on the stove, and placed the bowl inside to melt the wax. He went downstairs, entered the garden, carefully avoided the slurry, and picked mint leaves to bring back. To craft floral fragrance, he needed essential oil, but in the wild he had to extract it himself. There were many methods: distillation, pressing, oil absorption, compression. Distillation was ancient and common but required equipment, too troublesome. Su Feng washed the mint, found 2 bamboo pieces, sandwiched the leaves, and pressed hard. The mint leaves released water and a little oil, dripping into the ceramic bowl. Yun Han opened the toilet door, curiously asking, "Su Feng, what are you doing?" "Extracting essential oil." Su Feng answered. "Extracting essential oil?" Yun Han was stunned. "Why suddenly do this?" "To make floral-scented candles, otherwise we cannot sleep tonight." Su Feng smiled, released the bamboo pieces, revealing crushed leaves. In the ceramic bowl was a bit of green liquid, mint water and oil. Plants also contain oil, differing in amount, such as soybeans, corn, and peanuts, all used for oil. "Making floral candles? Does mint smell good?" Yun Han asked in surprise, glancing at the liquid. "Yes, without Buddha's hand fruit, we use mint instead, it should be fine." Su Feng replied gently. Chapter 523, The Mandarin Bath. So Feng smiled and said, "Let me try it first." He carefully carried out the iron pot with melted beeswax, then poured in the mint liquid, stirring it with chopsticks. "Van Han, find some spare ceramic bowls." So Feng spoke gently. "Okay." Van Han turned to search the wooden shelf and quickly returned with bowls. Next, cut a piece of hemp thread, make it rougher, soak it in vegetable oil. So Feng continued. The girl quickly prepared and returned with the soaked thread. So Feng poured the beeswax into a ceramic bowl, then placed the thread in, fixing it with sticks so it hung in the center. "So Feng, is it done like this?" Van Han asked curiously. "Wait, it needs to solidify before use." So Feng replied softly. "Then I will soak it in the stream, it will harden faster." Van Han carried 11 bowls, grabbed a basin, and went downstairs. "Grind, grind, grind." He sat by the wooden table, placed the mortar, herbs inside were mashed, dark green liquid flowed. So Feng picked a ceramic jar, sprinkled foxtail grass seeds, poured the herbal liquid into soak. "Leave it for 3 days to sprout," he muttered, placing the jar on the top shelf. Creak! The wooden door opened. Lu Waimong entered, hair wet, clearly had just bathed and washed her hair. She took a dry towel, wiped her hair, and smiled, asking, "So Feng, do you also want to soak?" He, Van Han is already soaking, so I let you go down." Lu Waimong laughed. "Then I will peel some bark, the rope is almost gone." He shyly made an excuse, carrying the basket out. "Ha ha ha." Lu Waimong laughed, watching him leave. "Nonsense." She quickly held back her laugh, glared at her sister, then went behind the screen to change clothes. So Feng looked at the storeroom, hot steam rose, clearly the girl was bathing inside. He turned away, went past the stream, pushed another door, and began peeling bark, truly just an excuse. Time passed fast in the wild, dusk arrived. 4 people finished dinner, sat together, drinking hot tea and chatting. 2 little foxtail grass, noodles only once. Lu Waimong mumbled, biting her chopsticks. "If you want, go find more tomorrow." Someone laughed. Hee, good, ground into powder we can store, cut more to bring back. Lu Waimong's dark eyes shone. "Always thinking about food." NK Books. Lu Wai Thursday said helplessly. "But we came to the wild to find food and survive 1 year, right?" Lu Waimong said seriously. Lu Wai Thursday was speechless. That was true. Of course, eat as much as possible. Van Han laughed. More than half the time has passed, only half a year remains. So Feng spoke softly. Lu Wai Thursday's face dimmed, remembering their mother in the hospital, half a year without seeing, not knowing her state. So Feng and the girl glanced at each other, shook their heads. "All right, loser must give a massage," Van Han quickly said. "No problem, I will not lose." Lu Waimong confidently took out the mahjong box. "All right, I will light the herbal candle." Van Han grabbed a bowl of beeswax with mint scent, lit it, and placed it on the table. Ah, when did you make that candle? Lu Waimong asked curiously. While you were bathing. So Fong replied. It smells good. Lu Wai Thursday sniffed, the stench lessened. Limited conditions, use it for now. So Fong smiled. It is already pleasant. Van Han said gently, sighing. Shuffle. Lu Waimong poured the mahjong tiles. Splash. Early next morning. Ah. Van Han yawned, waking up. Last night they played mahjong late. If not for Mao Ka protesting for food, she would still be sleeping. She picked a leaf, placed it down, yawned again, then carried washing items downstairs. She crouched by the stream, sniffed. The yard smelled much better, not unpleasant. Soon, the Lu sisters and So Fong also woke up, washing by the stream. So Fong, where does foxtail grass grow much? Lu Waimong asked vaguely, mouth filled with charcoal powder and mint, remembering the noodles. Where sunlight shines, many places suit foxtail grass. So Fong replied gently. I see, after meals. Let us go search. Lu Waimong rinsed and said. Yes, also scout other areas. So Fong nodded. Chapter 524, Nidosculus angustidens. Alright, right away. So Fong rinsed his mouth, cleaned the toothbrush with charcoal powder, then grabbed a towel and returned to the wooden hut. After more than half an hour, the four finished breakfast, packed up, and went downstairs, pushing open the gate to walk upstream along the stream. Today they aimed to explore farther. La 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 la. Lu Waimong happily hummed, still biting a blade of grass. Whenever she went out, she was full of energy, singing and dancing along the way. Staying home every day is boring, outside is fun. Lu Waimong giggled. Yes, very nice. So Fong smiled softly. I wonder what will be at the upper stream. Van Han held So Fong's hand and looked around curiously. We might meet other contestants. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. It is possible. So Fong nodded. Water always meant survival, and people often moved bases, just like the Lu sisters. Just hope not like those two guys before. Lu Wai Thursday bit her lip, feeling both hate and gratitude. She hated Lai Hoa and Truong Chan Hoa, but thanks to them, she met So Fong and the little girl, otherwise she might have been eliminated. Even if we meet, as long as they don't harm us, we won't bother them. Lu Waimong huffed, she enjoyed this peaceful life. You two should talk more gently. Van Han soothed, it was too early to worry, more than half a year remained. Let's go, see the upper stream. After more than an hour, the group reached an unexplored area. Be careful, don't let insects bite. So Fong reminded. All right. Van Han answered tenderly, noticing the fresh greens that could be cooked. These flowers are so pretty, blooming in clusters. Lu Waimong squatted by the stream, admiring white blossoms. Indeed beautiful. Lu Wai Thursday plucked some and examined them, but she did not know this plant. Sister, can it be eaten? Lu Waimong sniffed the flower. This, I don't know. Lu Wai Thursday said softly. So Fong, can this be eaten? Lu Waimong tilted her head. What? So Fong turned, crouched, sniffed, and said seriously, do not eat, this is water hemlock, poisonous. Water hemlock, also called wild celery, is extremely toxic to people and livestock, attacking the central nervous system, causing seizures, respiratory failure, and death. Many cases of poisoning had occurred before. Ah! Lu Waimong quickly threw the flower, upset, beautiful but poisonous. Water hemlock, remember it. Lu Wai Thursday nodded firmly, memorizing So Fong's words. I should teach you how to identify poisonous plants. So Fong sighed. That would be great. Lu Wai Thursday's eyes shone. The more we learn the better. Van Han agreed seriously. They walked on, stopping at unknown plants for explanations. This is death flower. So Fong pointed at a small plant. Death flower? What is that? Lu Wai Thursday asked. Yes. Lu Wai Mong and Van Han looked curiously, the name already sounded bad. It is also called Duan Truong grass. So Fong smiled. Duan Truong grass? That always appears in dramas. Lu Wai Mong was surprised, dramas often mentioned it though few knew clearly. Its toxins are mainly alkaloids, including strong nerve poisons. Eating even a little causes digestive, circulatory, and respiratory problems. Intestines turn black and sticky. Symptoms include nausea, thirst, difficulty swallowing, fever, vomiting, foaming mouth, numb limbs, weak muscles, and slurred speech. So Fong described carefully, warning, do not touch it, even smelling it too long makes you dizzy. He added sternly, never mess with this poison, I have no cure. Got it. Lu Wai Thursday memorized carefully. They continued, each unknown plant explained by So Fong. This is Nidoscolus angustidens, one of the 10 most dangerous plants in the world, a toxic herb. So Fong said again. Nidoscolus angustidens? Such a strange name. Van Han muttered, noting it down to avoid when foraging. Strange but indeed poisonous, yet also useful. So Fong explained. It secretes corrosive sap, touching it burns skin, causing unbearable pain, even rotting flesh with lasting wounds. Yet it also removes rust, a natural cleaning agent, processed into bleach or powder. Chapter 525, Wild Men? This is one of the traits of Nidoscolus angustidens. Lu Wai Thursday nodded gently, her voice warm, for she already knew about this plant. After all, it was among the 10 most dangerous plants in the world, and its name was so peculiar. The tiny spines can be used as fishing hooks, just handle with care. So Fong smiled as he spoke. I do not want to, I fear ruining my face. Van Han quickly waved her sleeve, for this plant could poison and corrode the skin. How could she dare to use its spines as hooks? Foreigners do it like this. So Fong could not help but laugh, being cautious was enough. Let us go. Lu Wai Mong looked at the blooming Nidoscolus angustidens, feeling conflicted. Right, So Fong, you said this is one of the 10 most dangerous plants, what are the others? Van Han tilted her head to ask. The 10 most dangerous plants include this, the water celery, the giant pitcher, the castor, the white root grass, the monkshood, the yellow fungus, the Venus flytrap, the oleander, and the deadly nightshade. So Fong counted slowly. He paused then added. But on the net there are other lists, adding poison wood, corpse flower, and others. For us, best to avoid them all. So it is. Lu Wai Thursday nodded in agreement. Such lists were only inventories of known plants. Come, let us go ahead. So Fong took the lead. The place was over 2 hours from camp. If we can hunt prey, it would be perfect. Lu Wai Mong said casually. A rustling sound came suddenly. So Fong's ears twitched, something moved through the bushes. He released the girl's hand, instinctively grasped his goat horn composite bow, and knocked an arrow. Lu Wai Mong froze, covered her mouth. What is it? Could it really be prey? If it is, you can go clear the way. Lu Wai Thursday sneered at her sister, though she herself heard only the stream nearby. Tonight we will have meat, it is too rare. After a while, faint voices were heard, instantly exciting the 4 people. Van Han was surprised, for in all this time they had met only their own group, never outsiders. The 3 girls became tense, anyone else on the island must be rival contestants. The voices grew clearer upstream. So Fong, what now? Van Han looked to him, he was the leader. Do not fear, we are 4. So Fong smiled, hearing only 2 voices. Indeed, I have practiced martial arts. Lu Wai Mong snorted, gripping her carbon fiber bow. Footsteps sounded. Branches cracked. Soon 2 men like wild folk appeared. Ah! Lu Wai Mong blurted. So Fong, are they wild men? Likely so. His eyes narrowed, they were skinny, hollow-eyed, filthy. They wore animal hides, one held a rabbit, the other a military knife, watching warily. Stay calm, they look young, and there are 3 women, no need to panic. Ha Tianvu spoke low, analyzing calmly. The 2 were former classmates, both 28, studied forestry, though long graduated they kept in touch. One time drinking they saw the survival show, signed up casually, and unexpectedly were chosen. Why 4? 3 women and 1 man, even a little lowly. Lu Van Trake licked his lips, envying So Fong. To have beauties on such an island was enviable. They must have met after landing and allied. Ha Tianvu guessed. Such luck, to survive so long. Lu Van Trake sneered, thinking their survival owed only to fortune. Not only luck. Ha Tianvu shook his head, but could not explain further. While they observed, So Fong's group whispered. Maybe they praise your beauty, and envy me. So Fong teased. Annoying, joking at a time like this. Van Han flushed, glared at him. I like that line. Lu Waimong laughed, glaring playfully. They caught a rabbit. Lu Wai Thursday noticed. Seems we are doing fine. So Fong murmured. Looking at the 2 gaunt men, he knew they had barely endured half a year. That is what we wish to ask. So Fong spoke calmly. Hey, where did you catch that rabbit? Lu Waimong asked. Do not know. Lu Van Trake replied coldly, certain they sought to seize resources. Chapter 526, Will Die Miserably? Van Han muttered softly that rabbit does not look bigger than the ones we raised. It is indeed skinny and small. Lu Wai Thursday nodded gently, the 3 girls gathered to examine the rabbit. So Fong smiled wryly, were they focusing on the wrong point? Do you live nearby? Ha Tianvu asked in a low voice. By the usual logic of the directors, contestants should not land so close. Correct. Ha Tianvu admitted calmly, since the rules did not forbid moving, he was not worried. So Fong only smiled and nodded, it seemed there would be another group of rivals, though he did not know how far away. The 3 girls still chatted endlessly, occasionally glancing at the 2. Still wearing fur clothes now, are they not hot? Lu Waimong wondered. Maybe they do not have cloth clothes. Van Han said uncertainly. So Fong pressed his lips to hold back laughter. The girls were straying off topic. Tianvu, let us go. Lu Van Trake urged in a low voice, still watching So Fong's group. Yes. Ha Tianvu nodded, now was not the time to fight, he slowly retreated, eyes fixed on the long bows. Just leaving like this? So Fong murmured, surprised as the 2 disappeared behind the bushes. Unexpected to meet other contestants. Lu Wai Thursday said with amusement. Hope they are not as annoying as those 2 creeps last time. Lu Waimong gnashed her teeth, glancing at the drone. Hope so, if they disturb us, we will drive them away. So Fong said coldly, looking toward their path. No, let us return, find another place. So Fong thought for a moment then decided, going forward might bring conflict, better to avoid trouble. Okay. The 3 girls agreed, following him. In the observation room, Ha Min and others watched the screen. Unexpected that they met. Ha Min said in surprise. Will they clash later? No Tin Noyet asked worriedly. Yes, conflicts may arise over food, territory, or resources. Von Lam said coolly, he saw human nature clearly. Then I think Lu Van Trake's group will die miserably, right Sister Vi Din? No Tin Noyet rested her chin, smiling softly. Exactly. Tay Vi Din nodded, with So Fong's strength and skill, Lu Van Trake could not match. Meanwhile, Lu Van Trake and Ha Tianvu returned to their hideout. It was a forest area, about 3 hours from where they met So Fong's group, near the upstream of a small stream. Step, step, step. Crack. Ha Tianwu broke a branch, turned back cautiously. Surely they did not follow? Lu Van Trek asked carefully. Yes, surely not. Ha Tianwu said, they had left the stream for half an hour. Did not expect, less than half a month after moving, to meet other contestants. Lu Van Trek snorted, set the rabbit down and sat. This proves resources are available. Ha Tianwu panted, people surviving here meant food existed. At this rate, we might last 7 more months. Ha Tianwu laughed, as long as there was meat, they could endure. Must win first place, I do not want to sell my life for old Ma. Lu Van Trek whispered through clenched teeth. Old Ma was his nickname for his superior, winning meant no more hardship, no more servitude. So, those 4 we met are rivals. Ha Tianwu said gravely, first place was his aim. 1 man 3 women, how long can they last, soon eliminated, not rivals. Lu Van Trek dismissed, he believed women were useless in the wild, though he still envied So Fong for his companions. Really, I think otherwise. Ha Tianwu recalled their clean clothes, spirited faces, they looked resilient. You may be right. Lu Van Trek thought again, the 3 women indeed looked radiant, while he was haggard. This, I do not know. He frowned, then an idea flashed Tianwu, why not secretly follow them? That, not a good idea. Ha Tianwu glanced at the drone, whispering. We just look, do nothing, nothing will happen. Lu Van Trek urged. Tomorrow then, today is late, too far and we may not return. Ha Tianwu frowned and decided. Yes, tomorrow then. Lu Van Trek looked up at the blazing sun. It was noon, about 1 o'clock. Let us go back, tomorrow we come again. Ha Tianwu stood, curiosity stirring, he resolved to spy on So Fong's camp the next day. Chapter 527, Know Yourself and Know Your Enemy, 100 Battles 100 Victories. Lu Wai Thursday leaned by the window, gazing at the starry night sky. What are you thinking, lost in thought like that? So Fong stood beside her, also looking at the sky. Nothing at all. Lu Wai Thursday gathered her drifting thoughts, softly answering, her heart remembering her mother. Good then. So Fong stayed silent, letting the breeze brush by. In the wooden cabin, Lu Wai Mong and Van Han busied themselves in the kitchen. Today they had gone to the forest after leaving the stream. Although they caught no prey, they brought back many edible mushrooms. Tomorrow must be fine weather. Lu Wai Thursday spoke. No, it may rain. So Fong smiled. We will see. He glanced at her, eyes full of confidence, then turned to help tidy the table for dinner. She looked once more at the sky, then helped finish cleaning. Mushroom stew is ready. Van Han placed the clay pot on the table, carefully lifting the lid, fragrance spreading. Inside was mushroom soup with meat, slightly thick, the smell alone made one hungry. Let me taste. Lu Wai Mong quickly took a bite, eyes shining, exclaiming, so delicious. If only we had rice to pour it on, it would be perfect. Van Han sighed. Rice is hard to make now. So Fong muttered, glancing at the grain still not ready. The 4 sat around, eating with clay bowls, hunger eased after a long day. After 20 minutes, they leaned back, drinking pine leaf tea with mint aroma. Life like this is peaceful. Van Han said. What shall we do later, mahjong or chess? Lu Wai Mong burped, asking without grace. Sit properly. Lu Wai Thursday tapped her sister's leg. Aya. She stuck her tongue out, quickly sitting neatly. Mahjong then. So Fong said with a smile. I will wash the bowls first. Lu Wai Thursday stood to clean. He shook his head, amused. Early morning, bright sunshine, birds chirped in the forest. No rain at all. She stood by the window again, smiling at the clear sky. She had risen first, boiling water ready. Taking her things, she went to wash by the stream. Ah! Van Han yawned, eyes opening, seeing So Fong asleep, cheeks flushing. She leaned down, kissed his cheek, then hurried downstairs. This feeling, not bad. NK Books. He slowly opened his eyes, whispering with a smile. Morning. Lu Weimon's lazy voice sounded, limbs sprawled wide on the big bed. Good morning. He looked and chuckled. Later, the four sat together for breakfast. No good, it will rain this afternoon, we stay in today. He said casually. Rain, really? She ran to the window, surprised. But the sky is so clear. Now is now, I mean the afternoon. He replied firmly, his skill of celestial observation recently upgraded. Really, but the sky shows no sign. She muttered in doubt. Weather is like a woman's heart, one moment blooming, the next fierce. He said playfully. You are fierce yourself, how dare you compare? Van Han glared. Speak like that and you will never have a girlfriend. Lu Weimong declared. He smiled awkwardly, unable to argue. The three girls laughed together. Meanwhile, upstream of the stream, 5 hours away, a hut of branches stood. Let's go explore. Ha Thien Vu held his knife, looking at Lu Van Trake, speaking gravely, we must find their camp soon. All right, ready. Lu Van Trake tied rope, picked up an axe. They carried tools, knife, axe, sleeping bag, flint, hook, waterproof cloth. Go. Ha Thien Vu led, soon reaching the stream, following it downstream. Hope they camp near the stream, easier to find. Lu Van Trake whispered. Even if not, it won't be far, no one leaves water. Ha Thien Vu replied. I don't know, but know yourself and know your enemy, 100 victories will follow. He said deeply. Chapter 528, Stealing the Rabbit? Tap tap tap. By the small stream in the forest, Lu Wenjai and Xia Tianyu kept walking, having followed it for more than 4 hours. Why have we still not found their camp? Lu Wenjai was annoyed, his stomach growling with hunger. Almost there. Xia Tianyu spoke low, watching the footprints spreading along the stream. They reached where they had met Su Feng yesterday, saw many tracks and followed them downstream. Sigh. Lu Wenjai felt helpless, this was the third time he heard that. Their thin bodies were weak, breathing heavily from the long walk. Keep going, a little longer, if we still find nothing we will return, we cannot waste time. Xia Tianyu said. Yes, that is the only way. Lu Wenjai breathed deep, holding his axe and followed. Why is there such a big fence here? Lu Wenjai exclaimed. A few steps more, they saw a tall wooden house, both stunned. Could this be the camp of those people yesterday? Xia Tianyu said, surprised. Impossible, such a large fence with a wooden house, could they build it? Lu Wenjai doubted, thinking 1 man and 3 women could not make such a place. Come, let us see closer. Xia Tianyu ordered. They circled the fence, still unable to see inside, only the roof of a wooden house and smoke rising from a chimney, proof of people inside. What now, should we go in? Lu Wenjai whispered, crouching at the fence. Well, I do not know either. He laughed awkwardly. Find a tree to climb and see from above. Xia Tianyu glanced at the house then turned into the woods. Lu Wenjai hurried after. This tree is tall enough. Xia Tianyu patted a big tree over 4 meters, the tallest around. Other tall trees were cut down, only stumps remained. Will you climb or me? Lu Wenjai asked. I cannot climb trees. Xia Tianyu smiled faintly. Fine. Lu Wenjai cursed inside, set down his axe, and climbed. Be careful. Xia Tianyu reminded. Lu Wenjai trembled as he climbed to a branch 3 meters up, looked toward the fence. First he saw the high wooden house, then rabbits and a fawn roaming the yard, shocking him. So many rabbits, more than 10, and a fawn. His eyes lit. What, rabbits and a fawn inside? Xia Tianyu was shocked. Yes, and many wild vegetables. Lu Wenjai squinted to see more clearly. Unbelievable, raising rabbits and a fawn in the wild? Xia Tianyu frowned. If you doubt, look yourself. Lu Wenjai smirked. Wait. Xia Tianyu laid down weapons and climbed up. Did you not say you could not climb? Lu Wenjai glared. Do not mind details. Xia Tianyu smiled awkwardly, changing topic. Where are the rabbits? Under the wooden house, look carefully. Lu Wenjai sighed. Xia Tianyu saw them indeed, surprised. So many rabbits, if they were ours, we could eat for long. It was their first time seeing so many rabbits in the wild. Lu Wenjai looked at the drone outside the canopy, lowered his voice. Why not steal some? What is wrong? In the wild only the strong survive, survival is all, the contest rules say nothing. Lu Wenjai said firmly. Xia Tianyu pondered. Do you not want first place? Lu Wenjai smirked. But how do we catch them? Just walk in, we will be discovered. Xia Tianyu frowned, the smoke proved people inside. Of course not, let me think. Lu Wenjai mused. Meanwhile, in the wooden house, Su Feng and others sat weaving ropes, chatting. Boom! Thunder roared outside the window. Lu Yiming trembled, patted her chest nervously. Scared me, is it really going to rain? She quickly went to the window, saw the sky full of dark clouds, rain could come any time. Drip drop. Her words had just ended when raindrops like beans fell on the roof and ground, making rattling sounds. You really guessed right, Su Feng. Lu Yiming sighed, weather changed suddenly, rain began again. Su Feng smiled, he guessed right because he had the system. Chapter 529, Captured for Research. Drip drop. Why is it suddenly raining? Lu Wenjai turned pale, quickly climbing down from the tree. The rain just came without warning, what should we do now? Xia Tianyu shivered, shaking water from his body, feeling soaked and uncomfortable. What else can we do? Let's find shelter first. Lu Wenjai ran toward the woods, searching for a large thick tree to hide under. Being drenched like this is unbearable. Xia Tianyu complained angrily. Looks like we can only head back now, wait for the rain to stop before planning again. Lu Wenjai sighed. We must return, otherwise we will have to sleep in the forest tonight. He said in a low voice, as everywhere was wet except for the camp with its dry logs. Then let's go. Xia Tianyu said helplessly, regretting going out today. We will come again when the rain stops. Lu Wenjai stared at the distant orchid tree, then braved the rain back along the stream. Inside the wooden hut, who knows when this rain will end? Yun Han pouted, listening to the pitter-patter outside. It is just a shower, it will stop soon. Su Feng said gently. I hope so. Yun Han whispered. After more than half an hour, the sound of rain gradually faded. Yun Han opened wide black eyes and asked, Su Feng, do you really control the weather? If I could control the weather, why would I be here competing? Su Feng smiled bitterly. True, you would have been captured and cut up for research. Yun Han nodded. With Su Feng's current strength, he must also be careful not to be captured for research. Lu Yiming said with a soft laugh. It is just a bit of strength, nothing much. Su Feng chuckled. He pressed his lips, suddenly realizing he might have revealed too much, especially under national live broadcast. I must be more cautious in the future. He reminded himself silently. Late at night, the wind blew through the forest. After dinner, the four gathered around the wooden table, playing mahjong to pass the time. Which day is it now? Lu Yiming casually asked while discarding a tile. The 155th day. Yun Han answered without thinking, shouting Pong. Time passes so slowly. Lu Yiming muttered. Yes, if only we could explore the whole Shangyue Island. She tilted her head, dreaming eagerly. Ha, perhaps in the future. Su Feng laughed meaningfully. I hope so. Lu Yiming replied, focused on her game. Su Feng, do you truly plan to travel the entire Xianyue Island? Yun Han whispered, sensing hidden meaning. Su Feng poked her cheek with a smile. What do you think? Wherever you go, I will follow. Yun Han blushed. Ahem, play your tile. Lu Yiming twitched her lips, feeling annoyed. 110,000. Su Feng grinned, discarding. Pong. Yun Han laughed proudly, grabbing the tile. Another pong. Lu Yiming muttered, placing down her tiles, already matching twice. Hee hee, 7 bamboo. Yun Han teased, playing again. The four played joyfully, their only amusement in the wild being mahjong and chess. As night deepened, insects chirped all around. Time to sleep. Su Feng put down the tiles, stretching. Ah! Yun Han yawned, rubbing her eyes. I am sleepy too. Let's all sleep. Su Feng said gently. All right. The Lu sisters agreed, climbing to bed, soon breathing evenly. Su Feng pulled Yun Han onto the big bed, the sleeping bag spread as bedding. Good night. Yun Han murmured, hugging him tightly before closing her eyes. Good night. Su Feng whispered, brushing hair from her face to avoid marks. On the virtual screen, the number 8 shone, showing it was dawn. The next morning, sunlight poured over the forest, vibrant after the rain. What should I cook for breakfast? Yun Han in an apron stood at the stove, holding an iron pot. The apron was a rectangle of cloth with 2 strings. Let's make meat soup. She set the pot on the stove, then looked for salted meat. Woof! Hairball jumped down, tugging her apron with small claws, black eyes staring. Shoo, quiet, don't wake them. Yun Han crouched, petting its head, whispering, I will prepare food for you, but don't let them know. Eat slowly. She stood, continuing her cooking. More than half an hour later, the four sat eating breakfast together. Chewing meat, Lu Yiming asked vaguely, Su Feng, it won't rain today, right? Are we going out? Yes, I plan to climb the small hill, cut some banana bark to bring back. Su Feng nodded, cloth was running low. Chapter 530, Will you still look for me? Van Han, are you coming? Su Feng asked gently. No, today I will stay here with Sister Thursday, there are wild vegetables and herbs to harvest on the other bank. Van Han shook her head while chewing meat. All right then, we will return a bit earlier. Su Feng reached out to help her pull a strand of hair stuck in her mouth. Got it. He smiled in reply. After half an hour, the girl carefully prepared supplies for them, including salted meat, iron pot, rope, and bows. We go now, do not tire yourselves too much. Su Feng waved, pushing open the gate. Come back soon. Van Han and Lu Wai Thursday reminded in unison. All right. Lu Wai Mong did not look back, following Su Feng out. Good, time to work. Van Han patted her face, took a bamboo basket and a Feng dagger, heading to the garden across the stream. These wild greens can be harvested, also sandbean. Lu Wai Thursday followed behind. They grow so fast. Van Han sighed, NK Books. A bit too fast. Lu Wai Thursday still did not understand why the herbs grew crazily, unlike in the books. Could it be from eating our strange meat? Van Han guessed. Lu Wai Thursday was stunned, and the vegetables suddenly seemed unsafe. Hee hee, just kidding. Van Han stuck out her tongue playfully. She wore waterproof boots, bent down and pulled the weeds. Lu Wai Thursday bit her lip, hesitant at the strange lumps in the garden. Sister Thursday, stay out, wash these at the stream. Van Han called, tossing greens into the water. All right. Lu Wai Thursday exhaled, rolled her pants, caught the bundle floating away. Splash. She grabbed it, dunked in water, scrubbing off the mud. Sister Thursday, catch this. Van Han threw another. Got it. Lu Wai Thursday barely caught it. Besides wild greens, many herbs were dug, not like lingji or polygonum, those need years. I wonder what Indian canna looks like. Van Han squatted, dug up a root, finding a small tuber. She covered it back, murmuring, dig again in a few days. She then dug wild ginger and taro, keeping the big ones, leaving small ones to grow. Step. What is it? Suo Fong turned to Lu Waimong. When we return to the city, can we still hunt together? She asked, biting her lip. Of course, as long as it is legal. He answered. Then the archery club can stay open. Lu Waimong clapped and laughed. Online viewers commented wildly. Does Lu Waimong like Suo Fong? She cried just now but now smiles brightly. I would like him too. Is it affection from time? Internet is not lawless, mind your words, at least mention me. So it is settled, do not go back on it. Lu Waimong held out her pinky innocently, pinky promise. Still acting like a child? Suo Fong laughed, linking pinkies. Of course, I fear you will break your word. She lifted her chin proudly. He smiled quietly, could she be starting to rely on him? What is that look? She squinted. Nothing. He coughed, clearing messy thoughts. All right then. She stared at him a while, then followed downstream. What a pity. She sighed again. Let's go. He also sighed, turning toward the hill. Suo Fong, wait for me. She called, running after him. Hurry up. He said without looking back. Got it. She quickened her steps, instinctively grabbed his ham, pretending nothing. He frowned, glanced, then kept going, needing to reach the hill before noon. Time passed, the sun rose high, warm light shining. Step. Such a big change. She stopped, panting with hands on knees. Yes, a big change. He looked around, dry weeds now green and lush. Even the road was cleared, otherwise they would have arrived earlier. Come, let's check the banana grove. He chose direction. Not sure if bananas remain. She murmured. Not the season, but maybe. He said softly. Chapter 531, Golden Poison Dart Frog. Lu Waimong said in disappointment, as expected, there are no bananas. Banana trees are tall, and even after floods or heavy snow, they often sprout new shoots. It will take a few months before we have them again. So Fong replied gently, drew his hatchet, and cut down a banana tree full of fruit. He peeled off the outer skin, cut the white inner bark, and placed it into a bamboo basket, material for making clothes. Let me help you. Lu Waimong took out her short blade to assist. Try this, it quenches thirst. So Fong cut 2 pieces of banana core and handed her one. Crunch! So sweet, and refreshing too. Lu Waimong bit into it happily. Take another piece. He handed her one more. Thank you. She quickly received it. Then he heard a rustling, pushed aside weeds, and saw something. Bullfrog? So Fong froze, then swiftly grabbed it before it escaped. It was large, half the size of his hand, plump and meaty. Bullfrogs are edible, with tender flesh, rich flavor, and nutritional value. So Fong, what did you catch? Lu Waimong asked curiously. Ah! She screamed and stepped back in fear. What, are you afraid of bullfrogs? He asked with a smile. But they taste very good. He laughed, thinking one sister fears mice, one fears frogs, but Van Han fears nothing. I will never eat that. Lu Waimong shook her head firmly. So Fong tied its legs with rope and put it in the basket. I need more, one is not enough. He pushed weeds aside, searching. Do you really want to eat bullfrogs? She asked softly. Of course, it is a rare delicacy. He laughed openly. He believed if cooked well, she would eat it, like when she ate snake soup before. She hesitated, then decided, then I will help you find them, but you catch them. All right. He nodded with a smile in his dark eyes. They searched in the banana grove, damp and suitable for frogs. So Fong, there is one here. Her voice came. Where? He rushed over. Under that leaf. She pointed. I see it. A larger bullfrog sat still under the leaf. He approached slowly, then caught it quickly and tied it up. Viewers in the room typed fast. Such speed must be from years of being single. 17 or 18 years is enough, trust me. Even a single man can sound elegant? Another one. He smiled, catching the third. So Fong, is this a bullfrog? It looks different. Books. Van Han asked. Before her was a golden frog sitting on a banana trunk, staring curiously. How is it different? He did not turn back, still searching. It is golden, quite beautiful. Lu Waimong squatted down. Golden? He froze, frowned, then rushed toward her. Lu Waimong, do not touch it. She wondered, why not touch it? Golden poison dart frog? She frowned. Yes, it is deadly, do not touch it. He pulled her back. This frog is the most beautiful yet the most poisonous. Its body shines golden, limbs too, with lemon yellow dazzling the most. It is stunning yet the most toxic vertebrate, its venom causes pain, paralysis, and heart failure. One frog can kill 10 adults in 3 minutes, 20,000 mice, or 15,000 people. Her heart raced with fear, grateful he stopped her. Next time, beware of dazzling things, if you were poisoned I could not save you. He warned with lingering fear. Its venom can kill within 3 minutes, in the wild there is no cure, unless with higher grade medicine. I understand. Lu Waimong shrank behind him, staying far from the shining frog. Chapter 532, Borrowing Something from You. Let it wait on its own, let's go search elsewhere. So Fong nodded softly, such poisonous creatures should be kept far away. All right. Lu Waimong rubbed her arm, a bit regretful, the golden dart frog was beautiful but deadly. Be careful, other poisonous frogs are also dangerous, their bright colors are just as deceptive. So Fong reminded. Got it. Lu Waimong replied firmly. So Fong smiled, turned to chase the bullfrog that had just fled, while keeping an eye on her. She glanced again at the golden dart frog, then moved away from that area to search for bullfrogs elsewhere. After 1.5 hours, the bamboo basket held more than 10 bullfrogs, all caught by So Fong near the plantain grove. So Fong, seems like there are no more bullfrogs. Lu Waimong clapped her hands, among the catches, some were found by her. Let's cut some more plantain bark and return. So Fong carried the basket and spoke while walking. All right. She followed him back to the plantain grove. They set things down, cut more bark, after half an hour gathered enough, then packed to return. Later we will stop by the old camp to cut some rotten flowers. So Fong said quietly. Then let's go. He smiled warmly, took the axe and followed the same path. Now the sun was high, it was around noon. By the stream, Lu Wai Thursday and the young girl were still busy. Van Han wiped sweat from her forehead, saying softly, pull these weeds out, So Fong wants to plant something else. She bent down to uproot the weeds, tossing them to Lu Wai Thursday at the stream. What do you plan to plant? Lu Wai Thursday asked curiously. The young girl washed her feet, took the shovel, returned to the garden, dug the soil, and buried fertilizer. Lu Wai Thursday washed the weeds, drying them on the balcony under the sun. Outside the fence, Lu Van Trek and Ha Tien Vu stood on a tree branch, watching. Indeed, the same people from the other day. Ha Tien Vu said lowly. Only 2 women, Where are the other pair? Lou Van Treyck frowned, scanning the wooden house but seeing little. Maybe they went out. Ha Tien Vu guessed. The two had barely slept last night, thinking about the rabbit and fawn in So Fong's camp, so they came here early. What should we do now? Ha Tien Vu asked. Directly rush in and seize. Lou Van Treyck answered wickedly. That is not good. Ha Tien Vu glanced at the drone, spoke seriously, everyone will see. It does not matter, we break no rules, so what if they see? Lou Van Treyck replied. I think it will give a bad impression. Ha Tien Vu hesitated. Why are you so stubborn? Lou Van Treyck sneered, then encouraged, do not forget, the first prize is 100 million yuan and land worth 80 million, enough for us to live freely. Ha Tien Vu bit his lip, weighing pros and cons. What are they planning? Seems like they are plotting. Will they target the girls? Yes, sneaky like thieves. The main thing is to force them out of the contest. Lou Van Treyck said. Let's go. Ha Tien Vu decided. All right. Lou Van Treyck followed toward the gate. Inside, the girl happily looked at the drone above the gate, exclaiming, Ah, are So Fong and the others back? So soon? Lu Wai Thursday wondered, the trip to the plantain grove should take until late afternoon. Maybe they met something on the way. I will open the gate. Van Han dropped the shovel, ran while calling, So Fong, are you back? Creak creak. The gate was pushed open, Ha Tien Vu and Lou Van Treyck appeared. Van Han stopped, frightened. Why are you here? So spacious. Lou Van Treyck ignored her, looked around the yard, thinking. Living here must be quite comfortable. Ha Tien Vu agreed. What do you want? Lu Wai Thursday frowned, raised the shovel, pulled the girl behind. Nothing much, just passing by and want to borrow something. Lou Van Treyck smiled. Borrow something, what? Van Han asked warily, they had only met twice yet now asked for things? Borrow your rabbit and fawn. Lou Van Treyck coughed lightly, feeling awkward. Ha Tien Vu pursed his lips, lowered his head, avoiding the drone camera. Chapter 533, Fiercely Collect Them. Lu Wai Thursday's face went cold as she looked at the two and asked in a low voice, Can you be any more shameless? Borrowing rabbits and fawns? That is plain robbery dressed up as politeness. No. Lou Van Treyck curled his lips. Van Han reacted, clenched her fist and asked, Sister Thursday, are they here to steal? Yes. Lu Wai Thursday tightened her grip on the military shovel, eyes alert. Don't be over anxious, we only want a few rabbits and a fawn. Lou Van Treyck raised a hand and smiled faintly. I advise you to leave quickly, if So Fong returns you will not be able to handle it. Her voice was icy. Van Han brightened and nodded, right, So Fong is very formidable. You probably cannot even withstand one of his punches. Lu Wai Thursday said with a wry smile, thinking one blow could break that stick-like man. Enough talk, hurry and catch the rabbits, night is falling. Ha Tien Vu snapped. Fine, since you praise him so, I will meet him someday. Lou Van Treyck glanced at the two women and bent to pick up a rabbit. In the observation room people were surprised. Teacher Ha, isn't this blatant robbery? No Tin Noyet asked sternly. The rules do not strictly forbid seizing others' resources. Ha Min recalled reluctantly. Disgusting, such lowly men. No Tin Noyet bit her lip angrily. Law of the jungle, the strong take from the weak, still, stealing while So Fong is away is contemptible. Vong Lam shook his head. Vai Din, what do you think? He looked to the silent Tay Vai Din. I only wonder how So Fong will handle them when he returns. Tay Vai Din said coldly. Humph, he will surely fiercely deal with them. No Tin Noyet declared. Strangely, I now look forward to his return. Vong Lam murmured. Van Han called anxiously, Sister Thursday, what now? Our rabbits will be taken. I do not know. Lu Wai Thursday feigned calm. It was her first time facing such a direct theft. Van Han, do not act rashly, we cannot beat them. She quickly grabbed the girl's collar to pull her back. But those are our rabbits. Van Han's eyes reddened. Go upstairs and bring the bamboo bow. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. I advise you not to make trouble. Lu Van Trake paused and stepped toward them. They're only rabbits. He kept approaching. Don't come closer, leave. Lu Wai Thursday barked and swung the shovel. Damn. Lu Van Trake raised his hand to block. She struck without hesitation. The shovel hit his arm with a dull thud. Get out. She swung again and struck his arm once more. How is she so strong? He cried, taking a few steps back. All of you out now. From above, Van Han aimed her bamboo bow at him, lips bitten, hands shaking as she drew the string. Troublesome. Hatien Vu's face darkened, clutching the rabbit he had worked hard to catch. Do not be rash. Lu Van Trake raised his hands pleadingly. Get out, immediately. Lu Wai Thursday advanced coldly with shovel raised. Van Han aimed at Hatien Vu, who hesitated and said, Let's go, we'll come back another time. He backed toward the gate, eyes fixed on the bow. Drop the rabbit, she demanded. No way, I caught it so it's mine. Hatien Vu tightened his hold and ran for the gate. My rabbit. Van Han cried, loosening her grip. An arrow whistled out and landed near Hatien Vu's feet, nearly striking him. Damn. He cursed as he fled. Damn them. Lu Van Trake cursed too, and seeing the armed girls he turned and ran. Don't run, that's our rabbit. Van Han shouted, drawing another arrow, but before she could loose it they were gone. They ran fast. She stamped her foot, then anxiously asked, Sister Thursday, are you hurt? No, just my hand trembles. Lu Wai Thursday gave a rueful smile. That's good. Van Han exhaled and leaned against the fence, clutching the bow. Were you scared? Lu Wai Thursday asked softly. I'm fine, only sad to lose one rabbit. Van Han sighed. You're safe, that's what matters. When So Fong returns he will settle. It. Lu Wai Thursday patted her shoulder. Yes, let So Fong fiercely teach them a lesson. Van Han said resolutely. Chapter 534, So Fong returns. Van Han, where are you going? Lu Wai Thursday hurriedly sat up and asked. The opposite door is still not closed. Van Han did not look back, answered, then stepped onto the wooden bridge across the small stream, moving the log that supported the gate. Only then did Lu Wai Thursday feel relieved. She ran up to the cabin, stood on the stairs and looked toward the upper stream, vaguely seeing two figures running farther away. Phew, now we can be at ease. Van Han clapped the wood dust off her hands, squatted by the stream to wash her face and clear her mind. Do not worry, they are gone. Lu Wai Thursday came down the stairs and said. Where did they go? Van Han asked. Upstream. Lu Wai Thursday replied softly. Humph, when So Fong returns I will settle accounts with them. Van Han fumed. Enough, calm down, just see them as wild monkeys. Lu Wai Thursday gently soothed. Ha, true, they are thin like monkeys. Van Han smiled, indeed only monkeys would steal from others. No, I must count how many rabbits remain, or we will not know if more are stolen. She paced in the yard, sometimes entering the storeroom. 11 big rabbits and 8 small ones. Van Han counted with her fingers. Those 8 little rabbits had just been born under the mother rabbit. How are they so bold? Lu Wai Thursday sighed. Because the contest rules do not forbid taking resources from others. Van Han frowned, she knew the rules by heart, worthy of a top student. Indeed, that is true. Lu Wai Thursday recalled, no rule covered this. I think the directors encourage us to compete. Van Han pouted. Then wait for So Fong to return, and we will settle scores. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. I hope my rabbits have not been slaughtered yet. Van Han worried. If So Fong found their hiding place, likely the rabbits were already eaten. I hope he comes back soon. Van Han sighed, picked up a shovel and returned to the garden to loosen the soil. On the other side of the stream, Lu Van Trake rubbed his sore arm, grumbling, that crazy woman was so strong, just 2 shovels made my arm bruised. Only caught 1 little rabbit. Ha Tien Vu held the rabbit with frustration. Next time catching rabbits will be harder. Ha Tien Vu said grimly. Shall we drive them away? Lu Van Trake suddenly suggested. You just want their campsite, right? Ha Tien Vu glanced, seeing through him. Do you not want to stay in that wooden house? Lu Van Trake angrily retorted. Want, yes, but should we steal it? Ha Tien Vu sighed, that cabin was far better than their current shelter. How did they make such strong mud? Lu Van Trake admired, he had seen the cement slab covering the waste pit, amazed. I also wonder, could they be cheating? Ha Tien Vu frowned. Impossible, if cheating they would be disqualified. Lu Van Trake scratched his head, said, forget it, let us eat the rabbit first, then think more. Clatter clatter. Both their stomachs growled, another day without meat. Go then. Ha Tien Vu eyed the live rabbit and swallowed. Hope we return before dark. Lu Van Trake looked up, it was past 3 in the afternoon, nearly 3 hours left until nightfall. Then, hurry. Ha Tien Vu urged. Time passed, the sun vanished, the sky turned gray, only half an hour until dark. Step step step. So Fong and Lu Wai Mong walked back along the stream. Finally we are home. Lu Wai Mong carried a large bouquet, ran to the fence, kicked the gate hard. Ah, why will this gate not open? She wondered, set down the flowers, used both hands, but still could not open it. It will not open? So Fong asked, surprised. You try. Lu Wai Mong said angrily. So Fong dropped the bark bundle, tried to push the gate, not daring too hard, afraid to knock it down. It is blocked inside. He suspected, normally it would open easily. Sister, we are back, open quickly. Lu Wai Mong shouted. In the cabin, Van Han and Lu Wai Thursday were slicing wild greens for pickles. That is Mong's sister's voice. Van Han's black eyes lit, she rushed to the window, saw Lu Wai Mong waving outside. The gate. Without finishing her words, she rushed down, pushed the log aside, and called, okay. Creak. Van Han, why did you lock the gate today? So Fong asked curiously. Yes, I used all my strength and still could not open it. Lu Wai Mong shook her wrist and complained. Why such a wronged face? So Fong put his things down, stroked the girl's cheek. Van Han, did my sister bully you? Lu Wai Mong frowned, said, tell me, I will punish her. Van Han hugged So Fong's waist tightly, said low, no, it was someone else. Chapter 535, Grilled Bullfrogs Over Charcoal. Van Han pursed her lips and looked up at So Fong, her voice trembling. The other day we met 2 wild men, they rushed in to steal. Wild men? They just stormed in to snatch things? So Fong's face turned cold. MHM. Van Han nodded like a pecking chick. You were not hurt, right? So Fong held the girl's shoulders, looking worried. Van Han blushed and whispered, no problem, we are fine, just 1 rabbit was taken. It is fine, just 1 rabbit. So Fong sighed gently, his voice soft. Do not worry, I will take it back. In his dark eyes flashed a chill, what was his could not be taken easily. Sister, what happened? Lu Wai Mong pushed the door and entered. What? 1 rabbit taken? Damn it, I will take it back. Lu Wai Mong shouted, grabbed her carbon fiber bow and was about to rush downstairs. Lu Wai Mong, stop, do you know where they are? Lu Wai Thursday quickly called her back. Lu Mong froze, tilted her head. Where? I do not know. Lu Thursday sighed. Then what to do, daring to steal our rabbit, too bold. Lu Mong paced angrily inside the cabin. Creak. The wooden door opened, So Fong led the girl inside. So Fong, what do we do? This is too much. Lu Mong hurriedly said. It is already late, tomorrow we will find them and settle this, they cannot escape. So Fong said seriously, this must be resolved, otherwise how could he leave the girls safe at camp? Can you find their camp? Lu Thursday asked softly. They need water, so their camp will not be far from the stream, just follow it and we will find them. So Fong said quietly, with his tracking skills it would be simple. Mei Chem, that is good. Lu Thursday nodded. We must teach them a lesson. Van Han tugged his sleeve. How about catching them as slaves, to serve our daily needs? So Fong smiled. That is not good. Van Han widened her black eyes in shock, then shook her head like a bad deal. That way we must feed and clothe them, better forget it. Just kidding. So Fong laughed, pinching her soft cheek. Teasing me again. Van Han flushed, glaring at him, then gently asked, Are you hungry? I will cook dinner. Yes, tonight we eat bullfrogs. So Fong lifted the bamboo basket and smiled. So many bullfrogs, grilling over charcoal will be tasty. Van Han's eyes lit up, she carried the basket downstairs to prepare before dark. Van Han, I will help you. Lu Thursday lit a torch and followed. Tonight only bullfrogs? Lu Mong asked with a pout. Afraid to eat? So Fong asked warmly. Afraid. Lu Mong shook her head quickly. Then I will make vegetable soup for you. So Fong rolled up his sleeves, placed the iron pot, poured water, and lit the fire. Hee, you were so nice, So Fong. Lu Mong giggled sweetly, staying by the stove to help. So Fong smiled, pleased with the praise. Van Han and Lu Thursday finished preparing the frogs, moved out the clay oven, washed and dried it, then placed coals below. Van Han, you even know how to grill frogs? Lu Mong asked in surprise. Yes, I saw tutorials online, this is my first try, not sure if tasty. Van Han said shyly. If Van Han cooks, it will always be edible. Lu Mong flattered. Mong's sister, you must eat more later. Van Han stirred the pot. Ah? Why? Van Han paused. She does not dare eat frogs. Lu Thursday spoke softly. Van Han froze, then sincerely said, Mong's sister, bullfrog is delicious, later you can taste. No way. Lu Mong shook her head. What a pity. Van Han shrugged and kept stirring. She said gently, Thursday sister, help me wash wild greens and taro. All right. Lu Thursday fetched taro and fresh greens, turned to wash them. Over 10 minutes later, Van Han set the iron pot on the wooden table, poured oil into the oven tray, laid pork slices, fish slices, herbs and greens, finally spread stir-fried frogs on top. The frogs on top can be eaten, the meat and greens below must simmer longer. Van Han said. Then drink vegetable soup first. So Fong frowned. Lu Mong quickly helped ladle soup, gazing at the roasting frogs while sipping. Frogs can be eaten, but if cooked longer they will be tastier. Van Han said softly. Then we wait a bit more. Lu Thursday whispered. After some minutes, smoke rose, the smell of pork and taro spread. It is ready. Van Han picked frogs aside, revealing the meat and greens beneath. Chapter 536, The Law of Irresistible Fragrance. He picked up a piece of roasted frog meat, chewed carefully, then swallowed and praised, delicious, truly tasty. The flavor is not bad. Van Han was pleased with this grilled bullfrog. Lu Thursday gnawed on a frog leg, eyes filled with satisfaction, and praised, so tasty. Clink clink. Lu Waimong held a clay bowl of wild vegetable soup, staring wide-eyed. Waimong, want to taste a piece? So Fong tilted his head, amused. No. Lu Waimong shook her head. Sister Mong, it is really delicious, just try and you will see. Van Han spoke innocently, quickly offering a piece to Lu Waimong's lips. Not lying to me? Lu Waimong asked suspiciously. He, of course not. Van Han laughed. Lu Waimong hesitated, lips trembling, then said, Then I will eat a small piece. She gently bit the frog thigh, the best part. Her face frowned, lips closed as she chewed, then slowly showed surprise, finally calm again, eyes shining, unable to resist grabbing another bite. Her cheeks puffed, she mumbled in wonder, so bullfrog tastes this good. It seems no one escapes the law of irresistible fragrance. So Fong muttered with a smile. Mum. Lu Waimong nodded. After half an hour, the four finished all, not a piece left. Hick. Lu Waimong burped, too full, finally drank a bowl of soup. Are you full? So Fong asked. Yes, I am full. Van Han softly replied. She ate a lot, thanks to So Fong always serving her meat and vegetables. I will wash the dishes. Lu Wai Thursday stood up. Sister, I will help. Lu Waimong carried bowls behind her sister, embarrassed for eating after refusing before. Handle the hua leaves first. Van Han took them downstairs. By the stream, she lit a fire, washed the leaves, preparing to make bean cakes tomorrow. So Fong stood at the window for a while, then took down a clay pot with foxtail seeds. They sprouted. He stirred with his finger, seeing small shoots, ready to plant. He put the pot back, prepared the culture liquid. Time passed quickly, the sisters finished washing dishes, came to help. Chirp, chirp. Next morning, birds sang happily outside. At dawn, So Fong opened his eyes, looked at the sleeping girl, gently adjusted her posture, and quietly got out of bed. He put on shoes, looked at her cute face, could not help kissing her forehead, then took washing items and went downstairs. The sleeping girl blushed, burrowed deeper into the sleeping bag. Ah. So Fong breathed fresh air, stretched arms, then brushed teeth at the stream. After more than 10 minutes, he finished, returned, then took shovel and clay pot with foxtail seeds to the vegetable garden. He dug in crushed soil, then planted the sprouted seeds, covered with soil, and watered with culture liquid. Good morning. So Fong smiled. Lu Waimong squatted, rinsing her mouth, and asked, What did you just plant? Foxtail grass. So Fong replied. It is not too hard, you will know when it grows. He smiled mysteriously. Always so secretive. Lu Waimong pouted, glaring. Ha ha ha. So Fong laughed loudly, washed off mud, then returned to the cabin. There, Van Han had just risen, combing her hair. Do you need my help? So Fong asked gently. Yes. Van Han blushed, quickly turned her back and sat on the chair. Why is your face red? So Fong asked warmly. No, nothing. Van Han calmly replied. So Fong frowned slightly, then combed her long hair. Ah. Lu Wai Thursday yawned, got up, saw them, felt awkward, hurried downstairs. Ba. The wooden comb glided gently, the girl's hair dry and rough, but in the wild it was unavoidable. N.K. Books. She bit her lip, enjoying his service, though it hurt a little, she was still happy. After a while, So Fong clumsily tied her hair and fixed it with a pin. Chapter 537, I also want to kick twice. The young girl carried a towel and a toothbrush downstairs, looking like a kitten fleeing. So Fong chuckled softly, then took a bamboo stalk to make a bamboo rake. Making a rake was not hard. He first smoothed the joints, split them into strips the width of a finger, bent one end, heated it with fire until fixed, and kept the curve after cooling. Then he arranged more than a dozen strips side by side, fixed with cross bamboo, similar to basket weaving. Finally he attached it to a bamboo stick, and the rake was done. This tool was often used in the countryside to gather barley or rice while drying, making it faster to separate grains. But So Fong intended to use it for clearing fallen leaves in the yard, and for removing stones and soil clumps after loosening the garden bed. So Fong, are you making Zhu Beiji's 9-tooth rake? Lu Waimong giggled and teased. Fits you well. So Fong laughed. It works really well. She pulled the rake, gathered leaves into a pile, while rabbits and deer were thrown into the pit, later fermented into fertilizer. Today we have delicious stewed meat. Van Han took the sliced meat from the rack and busied herself in the kitchen. After half an hour, the fragrant stew was brought to the table. Everyone come eat breakfast. Van Han called, serving bowls and ladling stew. Smells so good. Lu Waimong pushed the wooden door open, set the rake aside, rubbed her hands, and sat down. Sister Mong, you did not wash your hands. Van Han pursed her lips. All right. She wiped her hands and sat down, lifted a big bowl, and ate meat. Van Han, stay in the yard today. So Fong whispered. I want to see how you deal with them. Van Han looked eager. The scene will be too bloody, minors should not watch. So Fong smiled. I am not that little. Van Han pouted. All right, you will grow soon. So Fong patted her head to comfort her. Really cannot go? Van Han looked expectantly. Do you really want to go? So Fong asked after thinking, worried it was too far and she could not return by night. I also want to go. Lu Wai Thursday said softly. All right then, after eating we go out together. So Fong smiled. He, you are the best. Van Han cheered. I also want to kick him for stealing our rabbit. Lu Waimong said angrily. They deserve punishment. Cold light flashed in So Fong's eyes. His anger was not for the stolen rabbit, but for breaking into their camp and frightening the girls. He went this time only to vent for them. In the monitoring room, Ha Min and others watched live. Teacher Ha, will fighting disqualify contestants? No Tin Noyet asked curiously. No, as long as no one dies or is crippled. Ha Min considered. No Tin Noyet smiled, clenched her fist, and murmured, Great, let So Fong teach them. Ahem, mind the influence. Ha Min coughed. I also want to kick them. No Tin Noyet said proudly. Honestly, me too. Ha Min laughed. Teacher Vong, what about you? No Tin Noyet asked. Want? Vong Lam nodded. Tai Bai Din pressed her lips, thinking to throw the two men down. Of all people, they dared provoke So Fong. No Tin Noyet pitted the two, since he once fought a leopard alone. Let us wait for his performance. Ha Min smiled and shifted the topic. After half an hour, So Fong took bow and arrows, led the three girls, and went upstream. Will they escape? Van Han asked. No, daring to raid shows they are confident. So Fong analyzed. Better not, I want to destroy their hideout. Lu Waimong snorted. Come, we will find their hideout first. So Fong held the girl's hand and went. The four moved fast. Nearly 2 hours later they reached the place where they had first met Lu Van Trake. Which way now? Lu Wai Thursday asked softly. They continued upstream, So Fong sometimes stopped to observe, seeing cut vines, broken branches, and footprints on the ground, deducing their path. Another 2 hours passed, footprints grew messy, as if they paced back and forth. Almost there, footprints are denser. So, Fong said gravely, not only footprints but also chopped trees, proving frequent activity. So Fong, look, are those rabbit bones? Lu Waimong called. She squatted, before her lay a pile of rabbit bones, meat gnawed clean, with some boiled wild roots beside. Chapter 538, Bitten. Lu Wai Thursday and the young girl curiously gathered, their eyes fixed on the rabbit bones in front of Lu Wai Mong. This is rabbit bones, looks like it just arrived here today. So Fong said seriously. Disgusting, the rabbit must have been eaten by them. Van Han stood with hands on hips, angrily panting. Go, it should be just ahead. So Fong stood up, pushed aside vines and walked forward. The three girls hurried after him, tightly holding bows and military shovels. Thump thump thump. After a few minutes, a simple A-shaped hut appeared before them. Beside it was a fire pit still smoking faintly. Only the hut and extinguished coals remained. They must have gone hunting, the sleeping bag and iron pot are still here. Lu Wai Thursday whispered, spotting them under hay. Then we just wait here until they return. So Fong said calmly, sitting on a rock. So Fong, should we destroy their hut? Van Han drew her knife, hesitating. Destroy it, if others do not offend me I will not offend them, but if they cross me there is no need to be polite. So Fong replied coldly. Yes, I will help you. N.K. Lu Wai Mong pulled out an axe and cut through the wooden stakes without hesitation. The young girl nodded, recalling how they had stolen the rabbit, her hesitation vanished, she cut the ropes too. Boom! Phew, that feels better. Van Han exhaled and sat next to So Fong. Still not back yet? Lu Wai Mong glanced around. Sit down. So Fong patted the stone beside him. So Fong, could they sneak to our camp and steal the rabbit again? Lu Wai Thursday worried. Probably not. So Fong was unsure, maybe they had taken another path. Should we return to check? Lu Wai Mong asked. No, just wait here, they cannot run away unless they abandon this hut. So Fong shook his head. All right. The three girls agreed. In the monitoring room, Ha Min and others kept watching their situation. Do not rush, wait until Lu Van Trake returns, the real show is just beginning. Vong Lam said calmly. Yes, keep watching. Ha Min agreed, realizing the climax was near, which could boost exposure. I am curious what Lu Van Trake and Ha Tien Vu are doing. No Tin Noyet fluttered her lashes, glancing at Ha Min. The screen flashed, showing green bushes and grass, then Lu Van Trake and Ha Tien Vu lying low. What are they doing? No Tin Noyet asked, eyes wide at the bullet screen, hoping for an explanation. Bang bang bang. Bullet comments flew across, red and colorful. Ah, I see, thank you for explaining. No Tin Noyet smiled charmingly, forming a heart with her fingers. A moment later the screen was covered by gift alerts. Von Lam clicked his tongue, surprised at such a reaction to a heart gesture. The bullet screen explained, after breakfast Lu Van Trake and Ha Tien Vu had gone hunting, encountered a fox, and were watching it. Here comes the next part, So Fong is still waiting. No Tin Noyet laughed, crossing her long legs and folding arms. Do we keep waiting? It has been over half an hour. Ha Tien Vu whispered. Wait a bit longer, or we will have to eat vegetarian today. Lu Van Trake replied, gazing ahead where the fox had vanished into bushes. Should we check So Fong's camp? Ha Tien Vu suggested. Yesterday they killed a rabbit, ate half for dinner, and finished the rest this morning. It is too late today, next time we cannot just grab, we must steal cleverly. Lu Van Trake said, looking at the midday sky. Yes, they will be cautious. Ha Tien Vu nodded. Keep watching, hope that cunning fox comes out. Lu Van Trake lay down again. Ha Tien Vu sighed, lying down too, hoping for meat tonight. Time passed slowly, another half hour, mosquitoes and ants bit them. TSS. Lu Van Trake hissed, slapping his ankle, killing a huge ant nearly 3 centimeters long, dark brown like a honeybee. What happened? Ha Tien Vu asked worriedly. Damn, it hurts so much. Lu Van Trake rolled on the grass, sweating heavily. What exactly happened? Ha Tien Vu panicked, trying to stop him. And bit me. Lou Van Trake trembled, pulling up his pants. What kind of ant can bite you like this? Ha Tien Vu was alarmed, seeing his pale lips trembling. I do not know. Lou Van Trake staggered to his feet. Let us return to camp, I cannot bear it. All right, I will support you. Ha Tien Vu quickly helped him limp toward the hut. TSS. Lou Van Trake kept gasping, sweat pouring, his ankle burning like pierced by a bullet. But I do not know, let us just return. Lou Van Trake said shakily. Chapter 539, Your life is really big. Damn it, what kind of ant is that? Lu Wenjai growled, his ankle burning as the pain struck his nerves. Am I poisoned? Xia Tianyu asked suspiciously. Hope not, or it will be troublesome. Lu Wenjai's voice was hoarse, poisoning meant elimination. Stop talking, back to the camp. Xia Tianyu said, supporting him forward. Yunhan looked around then asked, Sofeng, do we still wait? Wait a bit longer. Sofeng said coldly, he calculated the time, at most 1 hour, if after that they did not return, they must go back. Could they know we are here and hide? Lu Yiming guessed. A rustling sound came. Almost here, hold on. Damn, why does it still hurt so much? Broken dialogue reached Sofeng's ears, he realized they were back. Here. He said calmly. Where? Lu Yiming lit up, raised the carbon fiber bow. North. Sofeng whispered, now it was time to settle. Finally back. Yunhan stood up, gripping the engineer shovel. Footsteps sounded. A while later, Xia Tianyu carried Lu Wenjai limping into view. Seeing Sofeng's group, they froze, then saw the ruined hideout and understood, time to pay. Finally back, return my rabbit. Yunhan angrily pointed. You dare bully me. Lu Yiming raised the bow. Better give us a satisfying answer. Lu Yitha said coldly, also holding a bamboo bow. Everything was fine, why do you like to cause trouble? Sofeng spoke calmly. Damn, for one rabbit you ruined my hideout? Lu Wenjai roared. From his tone, it seems we are at fault? Sofeng twitched his lips, such shamelessness. So shameless. Lu Yitha sneered. It is only a rabbit, you have many, give us one and nothing happens. Xia Tianyu said calmly. Lu Wenjai froze, face blank. They even turn it around, what a sight. Lu Yimeng sneered. Observers like Ha Min were stunned. Thick skin indeed. Wu Tingyue angrily said, almost laughing. Rare. Ha Min muttered, everyone was scolding them. Foolish. Wang Lin whispered, Xia Tianyu only brought trouble. Sofeng, teach them hard. Wu Tingyue urged. What, fight? Xia Tianyu said low, but seeing Sofeng approach he trembled. Since you choose trouble, nothing to say. Sofeng said, 10 fingers cracking. Sofeng, beat him until he cannot live alone. Lu Yimeng shouted. Then fight. Xia Tianyu encouraged himself, released Lu Wenjai and attacked. Too slow. Sofeng smirked, caught his fist, then punched his belly. Ah. Xia Tianyu screamed, bent like a boiled shrimp, the punch was strong. Let's talk. He grimaced, cold sweat on his forehead. Steal my rabbit, scare my people, what to say? Sofeng laughed coldly. You person. Behind, Yunhan blushed, murmuring. Then what do you want? Xia Tianyu gritted. They just want to kick you once. Sofeng lifted him off the ground. Be tolerant, this is wrong. His face turned worse. I only know I must scare you, then you will stop. Sofeng spoke softly, then threw him down before the 3 girls. For stealing my rabbit. Yunhan kicked his butt. I also kick. Lu Yiming stepped forward, kicked the same spot. Lu Yitha pursed lips, tapped him with the shovel, not light nor heavy. Xia Tianyu almost fainted, staggered up, gritted, I will not let you go. Seems not enough pain. So Feng frowned, walked forward. I admit defeat. Xia Tianyu quickly waved, his body could not take more. TSS. Your condition is not good. So Feng looked at Lu Wenjai, scanned him head to toe, saw the swollen red ankle, then surprised, still alive, your life is big. Lu Wenjai froze, asked, why say that? Chapter 540, I really like it. How do you know? Lu Van Trake asked weakly, his pale face twisted in pain as his ankle left his whole body powerless. The three girls curiously surrounded him, still wary of Hathian Vu, I can see it. So Fong said coldly. Then do you know how to ease the pain? Lu Van Trake asked like clinging to hope. I advise you to turn on the satellite phone, with your condition, if you push on, anything could happen. So Fong spoke seriously. No, I cannot leave. Lu Van Trake was stunned, for using the phone meant leaving the contest. Is your ankle hurting, burning as if shot by a bullet? And the burning grows stronger, even twitching? So Fong asked calmly. Yes, exactly. Lu Van Trake had wanted to deny, but upon careful check, his symptoms matched. So Fong, why is this? Van Han asked curiously. It must be bullet ants. So Fong whispered. Bullet ants? Are they poisonous? Lu Van Trake asked blankly. You still do not know? Is your left leg already numb? So Fong smiled faintly. Rest assured, it will hurt more, there is no relief unless you go to a hospital. His eyes looked at Lu Van Trake with pity, like at a dead man. No, I do not want to die, I must go to hospital. Lu Van Trake panicked, pulling out his satellite phone with trembling hands. No, you cannot leave the contest. Hathian Vu shouted, snatching it. Do you want me to die? Lu Van Trake roared. You will not die, maybe he lies. Hathian Vu argued. So Fong only smiled without explanation. But what if it is true? Lu Van Trake said in fear, unwilling to gamble his life. With your bodies, at most 1 more month before collapse. So Fong said calmly. Both were gone from long lack of nutrition. I give up, and you? Lu Van Trake asked Hathian Vu, health matters, I must return. Hathian Vu said bitterly. Thank you. Lu Van Trake breathed deeply, pressing the phone button. Who? Hathian Vu relaxed, sat down, looked at So Fong. We are unlucky, but I wish you luck. Thank you. So Fong replied softly, taking the girl's hand to leave. Lu Wai Thursday looked back at the dazed pair, sighed, and followed. Thud thud thud. Soon, the roar of a helicopter came above, then flew away. So Fong, can bullet ants really kill? Van Han asked worried. Of course, many bites can endanger life. So Fong said gently. Ah? Then that man will not die? Lu Waimong asked in shock. One bite will not kill, but you will never forget it. When did I say he would die? So Fong laughed. Bullet ants, among the 10 most venomous creatures, bodies about 3 centimeters, 5 times bigger than normal ants, the largest in the world. Their bite feels like a bullet wound, hence the name. Right, he never said death. Lu Waimong recalled. Yes. Lu Wai Thursday agreed. You are bad, but I like it. Van Han chuckled. Not so, the pain is unbearable, with their condition, they would be eliminated anyway. So Fong said as he walked. At the hospital, they will see if I lied. Yes, they look unwell. Van Han said softly. You just said you like what? So Fong teased. He, Van Han said she likes you. Lu Wai Mong giggled. So Fong lifted the girl's chin, asked. Is that true? You misheard. Van Han shyly avoided his burning gaze. So you do not like me? So Fong mocked. No, not dislike. Van Han denied. Then it is like? His dark eyes gleamed slyly. The Lu sisters watched, forced to eat dog food. Ha ha ha, let us go home. So Fong laughed heartily, holding the girl's hand back. In the observation room. Again with the affection. No Tin Noyet muttered angrily. Only 12 groups left. Ha Min sighed, seeing Lu Van Tre carried to the helicopter, officially eliminated. The 12 groups are all strong. Vang Lam said. Really? If the true brothers lose Tran Shi Hai, how long can they last? No Tin Noyet asked slyly. Vang Lam twitched, recalling. They're past, without Tran Shi Hai they would be gone long ago.